My name's Jack Casperson, Chief Manufacturing. Machine and fab, that's how we got the bridge mill come in for the larger weldments.
What industry do you do most of your work for?
It's a mix, I'd say heavy industrial, so mining, agriculture, the diesel industry, like Caterpillar.
Can we look at some of your equipment here?
Yeah.
So what do you got here? Twin spindle, live turret machine?
Yep.
How long have you had this one?
Say we bought this one about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So right now we're running a part like this.
Okay.
We put it in there, it turns one side, and then the turret comes down with a drill. We put the hole in, comes over, grabs it, pulls it back, and turns the other side. We do have to set them out, get them heat treated.
Okay.
Only this portion right here, and then we bring it back in here, and we do it right on this machine. We've never had an issue with accuracy or the repetitiveness. It repeats
so you have to machine it again after you heat treat
it
for
it gets
tolerance.
painted and then heat treated so it's hard here, and then we chuck on this surface and then return this. I think there's 15 or 20 thou left on it. We started seeing jobs that we've been running through the shop and found a better way to run them.
Right.
It saves a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had any issues.
How tight of tolerances have you held on it?
This one's 5/10.
Okay.
It doesn't have any issue.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what tolerances we've held.
Right.
But I just know it's never been an issue.
Sure.
With the high mix, low volume, you get a lot of parts that are just, standard 5 thou, but you get parts like he's running on that big Campro over there where you got 5/10 on a larger shaft. And that's why we're running that on that new Campro.
So I got the 1050 here.
But yeah, this is our newest Campro. We got this one in September. What sold me on the Campro was that it was box weight.
Yep.
And then we had an extra 10 inches Z basically from any other 40/20 machine. You don't see that often. We run gearboxes on these, then we used to have to run on a larger machine because you got to machine all 6 sides of it. So we machine the top and bottom in a fixture, and then we put it on a 4th axis, and then we machine the 4 outer sides. And it really helps having that extra 10 inch,
right?
Especially when we get bore heads in there. And these gearboxes are a little over 10 inches in length. So when you got a 10 inch there and then you got a 12 inch tool stick out, you're really limited if you only got 24 inches of Z travel.
Right.
So 20.
Which is like standard for every other 20x40 out there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 1050?
Yeah, this is the first machine we bought.
How long have you had this one?
4 years?
Okay.
I want to say, 4 years sounds about right. Haven't had any issues to speak of. This is a 3512.
Looks like a newer one.
Yeah, we bought this and the other 3512 at the same time. I do like that, for only being a 12-inch chuck, we have a big through bore for it.
It's like 4.5 inches, I think.
Yeah, right around that 4 5/8.
Okay, nice.
Which, like our older Pumas over there, I want to say one of them is a 12-inch chuck and it's only got a 3-inch through bore. So, we do some tubes are 4 inches and we got to face them to length and chamfer them just for a weldment.
Right.
And we'd have to put them on a bigger lathe and tie that up for them in the past. And that's the nice thing I like about these smaller lathes, having the bigger through bores.
Yeah. So what tolerance were you holding on this part?
Between 5/10 and 2 thou across all the diameters.
Yep.